Hello students. So in our previous videos we were discussing about the chapter lines, angles and triangles, and we have completed one part of the chapter, that is lines and angles. Now we are coming to triangles. So we are going to start the second part of the chapter, that is triangles. Okay, so we have studied all the properties related to lines, parallel lines and all the angles related to parallel lines, and we have discussed different theorems and solved some questions also. Now we are going to start triangles. So basically, what is a triangle? You all know the definition of triangle. What is a triangle? The plane figure bounded by three lines is called triangle. You know the definition. So note down the definition. What is a triangle? A plane figure bounded by three lines is called triangle. So this is a triangle. This definition all you know, and it is denoted by this symbol delta. We denote the triangle by this symbol delta. Now if any triangle is given, so what are the parts of a triangle? Suppose this is a triangle ABC. So in any triangle, how many sides are there? There are three sides, AB, AC and BC. There are three sides in a triangle and three angles in a triangle. Angle A, angle B and angle C. Okay, so every triangle is having three sides and three angles. Now, depending on these sides and these angles, the types of triangles are defined. So what are different types of triangles? You have studied all these things in your previous classes. We are just revising it. So how many types of triangles are there? On the basis of side, you have studied about equilateral triangle. Equilateral triangle. What is equilateral triangle? All sides equal. A triangle in which all the sides are equal is called equilateral triangle. Then second triangle you have studied isosceles triangle. So what is isosceles triangle? In which two sides are equal. In this triangle all the sides are equal. In isosceles triangle two sides are equal. Any two sides may be equal. So such triangle will be known as isosceles triangle. And the third type of triangle based on the sides is scalene triangle. So third triangle is scalene triangle. So what is scalene triangle? All the sides are different. Okay, all the sides will be different. Then such a triangle will be known as scalene triangle. So basically these three triangles are there on the basis of sides. Similarly, on the basis of angles, how many triangles are there? So you have studied about right angle triangle. Right angled triangle. What is right angle triangle? In which any one angle of 90 degree. Then such a triangle will be known as right angle triangle. Then you have studied about acute angle triangle. Acute angle triangle. So what is acute angle triangle? In which all the angles are acute. And you know what is acute angle? Whose value lie between 0 and 90 degree. So in acute angle triangles, all the angles will be less than 90 degree. Then the last one, sixth one is obtuse angle triangle. Obtuse angle triangle. So what is obtuse angle triangle? In which any one angle is obtuse. The triangle in which any one angle is obtuse angle, then that triangle will be known as obtuse angle triangle. So basically there are these six types of triangles, three depending on the sides and three depending on the angles. Now there are certain terms related to the triangles. These sides all you know, these triangles all you have studied in your previous classes. Now there are some important terms in a triangle that will be used in most of the questions. So you should know about those basic terms. So I am just telling you all those basic terms. The first term, which is generally given, medians. So what are medians of a triangle? Suppose we have given this triangle. This is triangle ABC. Then what is the definition of median? What do you mean by median of a triangle? So median is if we join a vertex to the midpoint of opposite side. If we are taking the vertex A in a triangle, there are three vertex A, B and C are called vertex. If a line is drawn from a vertex joining the midpoint of the opposite side of the vertex. If we take the vertex A, then the opposite side is BC. So the midpoint of BC, if we consider this point as P. Okay. So if we join this line, AP, then this AP will be known as median. AP is called median. And what is the property of median? Median divides opposite side into two equal parts, or we can say P is the midpoint of BC. P is midpoint of BC. Or if you write the definition of median, so what is the definition of median? Line joining the vertex to midpoint of opposite side. Line joining the vertex to the midpoint of opposite side is called median. So here P is the midpoint of this side BC, so AP will be known as median. Similarly, if we take the midpoint of AC, suppose this is Q is the midpoint of AC, then BQ will be the median also. Similarly, if we take the midpoint of this AB as R, then CR will also be a median. Okay, so in a triangle there are three medians from the three vertex. From vertex A, AP is the median. Similarly, CR is median and BQ is also median. CR is median and BQ is also a median. Okay, so what is a median? The line joining from the vertex to the midpoint of opposite side is called median. So there are three medians, AP, CR and BQ. Okay, now if we see, all the medians will intersect at a single point. This is point O. So this O is called centroid of triangle. So you should know the definition of centroid. What is centroid? Centroid is the point of intersection of all the three medians. What is centroid? It is point of intersection of all the medians, or we can say the point where all the medians intersect each other. That point is called centroid of a triangle. Okay, so this is the first term related to triangle, median and centroid. You should remember these things because it will be generally used in most of the questions. So if you don't know this term, then you cannot prove the question. So you should know what is median, what does a median do. Median divides the opposite side in two equal parts. It means we can say BP is equal to CP. Here BP is equal to CP. AQ is equal to CQ. AQ is equal to CQ. Similarly, BR is equal to AR. So these will be the properties of median. Median will divide the opposite side into two equal parts. So these properties will be used in most of the questions when we will study about congruency, and in simple triangle questions also these properties will be used. So this is median and this is centroid. The point of intersection of all the medians is called centroid. So note it down. These are very important definitions, very important terms. Now the second term, it is altitude. Altitudes. Now what are altitudes? Suppose this is our triangle. Triangle A, B and C. So what are altitudes? Altitudes are the line drawn from the vertex on the opposite side, but it is perpendicular. Median is the line joining from the vertex to the midpoint, but altitude is not joining the midpoint. It is the line drawn from the vertex on the opposite side, and this line should be perpendicular, or we can say perpendicular drawn from the vertex to the opposite side. So here if we take AP, so AP is altitude. So what is the definition of altitude? Perpendicular from vertex to the opposite side. Perpendicular from vertex to the opposite side is called altitude. So it is AP. AP is altitude. Similarly, if you draw from B a perpendicular, suppose this is perpendicular, this angle is 90, let us consider it as Q. So BQ is also altitude. Similarly, if we draw a perpendicular from this point also, so it will also form, suppose this is CR, this is also 90 degree, so it will also be altitude. And if we draw all the altitudes, if we draw all the three altitudes from the three vertex of a triangle, then they will also meet at a single point. And this point, suppose this point is considered as O. Now this meeting point of altitude is called orthocenter. It is known as orthocenter. So what is orthocenter? It is the meeting point of all the three altitudes is called orthocenter. Meeting point of all the three medians, it is called centroid, and meeting point of all the three altitudes is called orthocenter. So you should know about what is orthocenter, what are altitudes. So it is not compulsory that every altitude will be a median or every median will be altitude, but in some cases the altitudes and median will be same. For example, in case of isosceles triangle and equilateral triangle, if we talk about an equilateral triangle, so note down this particular important point also. In equilateral triangle, medians and altitudes are same. Okay, in case of equilateral triangle, altitude and medians will be same, but in case of all the other triangles, they will be different. Sometimes in case of isosceles triangle also, the medians and altitudes will be same. Okay, so these are the basic terms: altitude, median, orthocenter and centroid. Now coming to the next term, you have to learn all these definitions and all these terms so that you can solve your questions easily. Now the next term is in-center. So what is in-center of a triangle? Suppose we are given this triangle A, B and C. So what is in-center? If we draw the angle bisector, there are three angles, angle A, B and C. If we draw the bisectors of this angle, bisector of angle A, bisector of angle B and bisector of angle C. So this point O, this point will be known as in-center. Why it is called in-center? Because from this particular center, from this point, if we take this point as a center and taking OA, OB or OC as radius, if we draw a circle, not OA, OB, OC, if we draw a circle from this point, then it will touch all the three sides. This circle is called in circle, and this point O is called in center. So what is in center? It is point of intersection of angle bisector. Point of intersection of angle bisector is called in center, and the circles formed is called in circle. This circle is called in circle. Okay. Now the next term, it is circumcenter. Now what is circumcenter? Circumcenter, if we have taken this triangle ABC, and if we draw the perpendicular bisector of all the three sides, if you draw the bisector of side AB, side BC and side CA, then this point will be called as circumcenter. So what is the definition? Point of intersection of all the three sides is called circumcenter. Okay, so point of intersection of all the three sides is called circumcenter. Now if we draw a circle from this circumcenter, then it will pass by touching all the three vertex of this triangle. This circle will be formed which will touch all the three vertex of the triangle. So such a circle is called circumcircle. This circle is called circumcircle, and the center is this center of this circle is called circumcenter. And in this case, the circle is formed inside the triangle, touching all the three sides. So such circle is called in circle, and the center of the circle is called in center. So these are the basic terms which will be generally used in the chapter triangle, and in congruency also, in circle also, in quadrilateral also. All these terms will be used. So we have to know all these terms. You should remember them. You have to learn the definitions of all these terms so that you can solve the questions easily. So these were some basic points regarding triangle. Now we are going to start with the first theorem of triangle. So let us start the chapter triangle with the first theorem of the triangle. Theorem number 1. So what first theorem of triangle is, this theorem you have already studied in your class 8th also. So this theorem is the sum of all the angles of a triangle is 180 degree. The sum of all the angles of a triangle is 180 degree. And this theorem is also known as angle sum property of a triangle. Okay, this theorem is also known as angle sum property. Angle sum property of triangle. The sum of all the angles of a triangle is always 180 degree. So we have to prove it. So first let us consider a triangle ABC. Now suppose this is our triangle A, B and C. Okay. So what is given? First we will write the given. We have given a triangle ABC. Only this thing is given. We have given a triangle ABC. What we have to prove? What we have to prove? We have to prove the sum of all the angles of a triangle is 180. It means we have to prove angle A plus angle B plus angle C is equal to 180 degree. Okay, so we have to prove the sum of all the three angles is 180 degree. Now how will we prove this? How can we prove it? So for proving this, we will do a construction here, because we have studied about parallel lines, transversal, alternate angle, co-interior angle, corresponding angles. We have studied about all those things. So we can use those properties in triangle also. That's why we will draw a parallel line, then we will get a transversal, and we may get alternate angle or co-interior angle, something like that. So first I am going to draw a construction. What construction I am taking? I am drawing a line from point A, and that line should be parallel to BC. So let us consider a line XY passing through A, and this line XY, it is parallel to BC. This is our construction. So we are doing a construction here. We will write here, draw a line XY parallel to BC and passing through A. Okay, this is our construction. We have drawn a line XY passing through A and parallel to BC. So now these are two parallel lines, and AC will be a transversal. Similarly, AB will be also a transversal. So now if we consider this angle as angle 1 and this angle as angle 2. So now we can see here this angle 1 and angle C. These will be alternate angle because these are parallel lines and this is a transversal. Similarly, angle 2 and angle B will also be alternate angle, and for parallel lines, alternate angles are equal. So now we are going to start the proof of this theorem. So the first statement we will write angle 1 is equal to angle C. Why they are equal? Since alternate angles. Okay. Similarly, angle 2 is equal to angle B. Again same thing, alternate angles. Okay. So let us consider it equation number 1 and equation number 2. Now what is this angle? This is angle A, interior angle. We are taking the interior angle of the triangle, which is angle A. Now if we see here, XY is a straight line, and there are three angles, angle 1, angle A and angle 2. And we know that the sum of all the angles on a straight line is 180 degree. It means sum of these three angles should be equal to 180 degree. So now we are going to use this property. Now angle 1 plus angle 2 plus angle A, it will be equal to 180 degree. Clear? And you will write the theorem here. The sum of all the angles, along a straight line is 180 degree. So we have used this theorem, angle 1 plus angle 2 plus angle A is equal to 180 degree. Now if we take this equation as equation number 3. Now if we use equation 1 and equation 2 in equation 3, it means if we put the value of angle 1 equals to angle C in this equation, the value of angle 2 is equal to angle B also in this equation, then we will write here, use equation 1 and 2 in equation 3. So if we use these two equations in this equation, so at the place of angle 1 we will write angle C, at the place of angle 2 we will write angle B plus angle A, it is equal to 180 degree, and this is the theorem which we have to prove. So we have proved this statement. Okay. So this is the angle sum property of the triangle. This is the proving of this particular theorem. Note it down. Now based on the angle sum property, there is one of the most important question which I am going to tell you. So note down the question. If the bisectors of angle in triangle ABC, the bisector of angle A the bisector of angle B and angle C. Bisector of angle B and angle C intersect each other at O. Okay, in triangle ABC, the bisector of angle B and angle C intersect each other at O. Then prove that angle BOC, it is equal to 90 plus half of angle A. So this you have to prove now. In a triangle ABC, the bisectors of angle B and angle C intersect each other at O. We have to prove angle BOC is equal to 90 plus half of angle A. So first thing, we have to draw the figure. So let us draw the figure first. So suppose this is our triangle A, B and C. This is angle B and this is complete angle C. So first thing, we will write what is given. So what is given to us? We have given a triangle ABC. Okay, and what other thing is given? The bisector of angle B and C. So first draw the bisector of angle B. So we have studied about the bisector. What is the bisector? It divides the angle into two equal parts. So the bisector of angle B will pass from this point like this. Let us consider, and the bisector of angle C will also pass from this point. So both of them are passing from the point O. We have given this. The bisector of angle B and angle C intersect each other at point O. So this BO is the bisector of angle B and CO is the bisector of angle C. Okay, we have given these two bisectors and both of them are intersecting at point O. So this thing is given. So we will write it in the given. So we have given a triangle ABC and BO and CO are bisectors. Are bisectors of angle B and angle C. Okay, we have given BO and CO are the bisectors of angle B and angle C respectively. Now what we have to prove? We have to prove angle BOC is equal to 90 degree plus half of angle A. This thing we have to prove now. So let us start the proving. The simple angle sum property will be used in this proving. But how we will use that is more important. So we have given BO is the bisector of angle B. So what does a bisector do? Bisector divides the angle into two equal parts. It means this angle will be equal to B by 2 and this angle will be equal to C by 2. Okay, why? Because we have given BO and CO are the bisector. So first we will write this statement. What we will write? We will write angle OBC. It is equal to angle B by 2. Or first you can write it as angle OBC is equal to half of angle B. Okay, why? Because since BO is bisector. So angle OBC is equal to half of angle B. Similarly, angle OCB, it will also be equal to half of angle C. Why it is half of angle C? Since CO is bisector. We have given BO and CO are the bisectors. So angle OCB will be C by 2, OBC will be B by 2. And this is angle BOC. Now, if we take this triangle OBC, we know that the sum of all the angles of a triangle is 180 degree. So now we are taking in triangle OBC. What is angle sum property? Sum of all the three angles. So what are the angles? Angle B by 2 plus angle C by 2 plus angle BOC. It will be equal to 180 degree and you will write here angle sum property. Let us take it equation number 1. So angle B by 2 plus angle C by 2 plus angle BOC, it is equal to 180 degree by angle sum property. But we have given one more triangle, that is triangle ABC, this complete triangle. So we can apply the angle sum property in this whole triangle also. So if we take in triangle ABC, what can we write? We can write angle A plus angle B plus angle C is equal to 180 degree. Okay, it is also angle sum property. Let us take it equation number 2. Now we have two equations, angle A plus angle B plus angle C 180, A by 2 B by 2 C by A by B by 2 C by 2 plus BOC equal to 180. Now if we see both these equations, right hand side of both the equation is same. So if right hand side of both the equation is same, it means left hand side will also be equal. So if we write here equating equation 1 and 2, because right hand side of both the equation is same, so left hand side will also be same. So we can write angle B by 2 plus angle C by 2 plus angle BOC is equal to angle A plus angle B plus angle C. Clear? Or let us do it in more simple way, because we have to find out only A by 2. In the question we have given only A by 2. So let us eliminate this angle B by 2 and C by 2. So how can we eliminate it? Because we have to take the value in terms of angle A only. So from this equation, equation number 2, we can write angle A is equal to 180 minus angle B minus angle C. Okay, we can write it angle A is equal to 180 minus angle B minus angle C, or let us write it as angle B plus angle C is equal to 180 minus angle A. This will be more convenient. So we are writing angle B plus angle C is equal to 180 minus angle A, because we have to prove 90 plus half angle A. So we are converting this term in terms of 90 and angle A. Now if we divide both the side by 2, because we have to find the answer in terms of half of angle A, and in this equation they are B by 2 and C by 2. So if we divide this equation by 2, so we will get angle B by 2 plus angle C by 2 is equal to 180 by 2 minus angle A by 2. Let us take it equation number 3 and dividing equation 3 by 2. Not by equation 2, it is only 2. So we will get B by 2 plus C by 2 is equal to 180 by 2 minus 90 minus angle A by 2, which can be written as angle B by 2 plus angle C by 2 is equal to 90 minus half of angle A. This is angle B by 2 plus angle C by 2. So we have got this equation. Let us consider them equation number 4. Okay. Now what we will do next? Should I rub this? Now what we have got? We have two equations now. The first equation is angle B by 2 plus angle C by 2 plus angle BOC is equal to 180 degree. This is our first equation, and we have got a fourth equation, which is angle B by 2 plus angle C by 2 is equal to 90 minus half of angle A. This is equation number 4. Okay. Now from equation number 4, if we put the value of B by 2 and C by 2 in equation 1, because we have to get the answer in terms of only BOC and half of angle A. So we are getting angle BOC in first equation and angle A in the fourth equation. So we have to eliminate these terms. That means we have to eliminate B by 2 plus C by 2. So for eliminating it, what we will do? Now we will put the value, or we will use equation 4 in equation 1. Then what will happen? In equation 1 there is B by 2 plus C by 2. In equation 4 also it is B by 2 plus C by 2. So if we put the value of this B by 2 plus C by 2 in this equation, so we will get 90 minus half of angle A. Okay, this value. Now I am putting the value from equation 4 in equation 1. So this value I am putting at the place of this B by 2 plus C by 2. So we will get 90 minus half of angle A plus angle BOC is equal to 180 degree. Okay, at this place we are putting 90 minus half of angle A plus angle BOC is equal to 180 degree. So we will get angle BOC is equal to 180 minus 90 plus half of angle A. Taking this term 90 minus half of angle A to the right hand side, it will be minus 90 and plus half of angle A. So we have proved it. What was required? So we have proved we get angle BOC is equal to 90 plus half of angle A, and this was the required proof. So this is our proof. So it is very important. It is generally asked in your examination also. So note it down from the starting. So today we have discussed about the triangle, the basics of the triangle, different terms related to the triangle, and we have done a theorem, the angle sum property of the triangle, and this is the most important question of the triangle which we have done in this video. So in the next class, in the next video, we will discuss some more questions based on these triangles, and we will further proceed with some more important theorems also. Okay, so first you have to remember all the basic terms which I have discussed today, and these two theorem, the theorem number 1 and this question. This question is very important. It is generally asked in the examination also, so you have to prepare it very well.